Today's breaking international news comes from western Mexico, where violent clashes erupted after security forces carried out a major operation against one of the country's most powerful criminal leaders. The incident has triggered chaos, fear, and widespread security alerts across several regions, raising concerns about escalating cartel violence and the future of Mexico's ongoing war against organized crime. According to official reports, Mexican military forces launched a high-risk operation targeting the leader of the notorious Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Widely known as CJNG, this cartel has long been considered one of the most dangerous and heavily armed criminal groups in the world, responsible for drug trafficking, violent attacks, and territorial battles across multiple regions. During the operation, authorities confirmed the death of cartel boss Nemesio Rubén Oseguera Cervantes, better known by his alias El Mencho. For years, El Mencho had been one of the most wanted fugitives internationally, accused of overseeing large-scale drug operations and violent enforcement tactics that made his organization extremely powerful. The military raid reportedly took place in the western Mexican state of Jalisco, an area known as a stronghold of cartel activity. Security forces surrounded a rural compound. Intelligence agencies tracked the movements of high-ranking cartel members. What followed was an intense gun battle that lasted several hours, involving heavy weapons and armored military units. Officials described the mission as one of the most significant operations in recent years. While authorities achieved their objective, the aftermath quickly turned dangerous. Within hours of the news spreading, cartel members launched coordinated retaliation attacks across nearby cities and highways. Witnesses reported seeing burning vehicles blocking major roads, armed groups setting trucks on fire, and gunmen attempting to disrupt transportation routes. Videos circulating on social media showed thick smoke rising from highways as frightened civilians abandoned cars and sought shelter. Local governments issued emergency warnings, urging residents to remain indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. Schools temporarily closed, businesses shut their doors early, and public transportation services were suspended in several affected areas. Security analysts explain that such retaliation is a common tactic used by cartels after losing a leader. By creating chaos and fear, criminal organizations attempt to demonstrate power and discourage further government operations. These attacks are often designed to show that even without a leader, the cartel remains capable of causing disruption. Authorities deployed additional troops and National Guard units to restore order. Helicopters patrolled urban zones while checkpoints were established along key highways. Officials emphasized that the situation remained under control, but warned citizens to stay alert as security operations continued. The death of El Mencho marks a turning point in Mexico's long struggle against organized crime. For years, CJNG expanded rapidly, becoming one of the most dominant cartels to its aggressive tactics, advanced weapons, and international trafficking networks. Experts say removing such a powerful figure could weaken the cartel temporarily, but it may also trigger internal power struggles. History shows that when major cartel leaders are eliminated, rival factions often compete for control. This can sometimes lead to even more violence as groups fight over territory, smuggling routes, and leadership positions. Analysts fear western Mexico could experience a period of instability while the cartel reorganizes. International reactions followed quickly after the news broke. Foreign governments praised Mexican authorities for targeting organized crime leadership, but also issued travel advisories to the sudden wave of violence. Security experts noted that cartel activities extend far beyond Mexico's borders, making developments like this significant for global law enforcement efforts. Residents in affected cities described scenes of panic and uncertainty. Some families sheltered inside homes while listening to distant gunfire and sirens. Others rushed to grocery stores to stock supplies, unsure how long disruptions would last. Social media became a key source of real-time updates as people shared warnings and safety information. Despite the chaos, government officials stressed that operations like this are necessary to reduce cartel influence over time. They argued that dismantling leadership structures is a critical step toward restoring long-term security and protecting communities affected by organized crime. However, critics say Mexico's strategy of targeting cartel leaders, often called the kingpin strategy, has produced mixed results. While removing leaders disrupts organizations temporarily, new leaders sometimes emerge quickly, creating cycles of violence that continue for years. Security specialists believe lasting solutions may require broader reforms, including economic investment, anti-corruption measures, and stronger local institutions. Without addressing underlying social and economic issues, experts warn that criminal groups may continue recruiting new members. Meanwhile, daily life in parts of western Mexico remains tense, but gradually stabilizing as security forces increase their presence. Authorities have begun clearing burned vehicles from roads and reopening transportation routes. Flights and bus services are slowly returning to normal operations. For many citizens, the events serve as a reminder of the complex challenges Mexico faces in confronting organized crime. The fight is not only about law enforcement, but also about rebuilding trust, improving safety, and ensuring communities can live without fear. The killing of El Mencho represents a symbolic victory for the government, but the coming weeks will determine whether it leads to lasting change or further instability. Much depends on how effectively authorities manage the transition period and prevent rival groups from escalating violence. As investigations continue, officials are analyzing intelligence gathered during the raid, hoping it will help dismantle remaining cartel networks. Law enforcement agencies are also monitoring potential retaliation threats to prevent additional attacks. For now, residents remain cautious, watching developments closely as the region moves toward recovery. The situation highlights both the risks and the importance of confronting organized crime leadership in one of the world's most complex security environments. This story continues to evolve, and authorities are expected to release more updates in the coming days. What remains clear is that the events in western Mexico have once again drawn global attention to the ongoing struggle between government forces and powerful criminal organizations. As the dust settles, one question remains: will this operation mark a beginning of reduced cartel power, or will it ignite a new phase of violence? Only time will tell, but for millions of people living in affected regions, peace and stability remain the ultimate hope.